Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. My name is Lorraine Tierney, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. And I love to make cards. I love to show people how to make cards. I love to share my cards with other people. Um, I just love cards and paper crafting. Today is July 15th, and I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry. I'm always ready early and then hanging around waiting for it to be time to go live, and this time I'm a little late. We are going to play with the Country Flowers bundle today, do a little bit of coloring, and make a sympathy card. And I hope it's not really controversial, but it's not a dark sympathy card. It's kind of bright, and I feel like sympathy cards can be bright. So let me know what you think. Please say hello if you're watching live, either on YouTube or on Facebook. And I love comments. It makes my day. If you leave me a comment, ask me a question, I will respond to it. And I really enjoy that kind of interaction. So let's spotlight my hands and my table, and we'll get started. Oh, so I was going to die cut those before I came on, and I didn't have a chance. So I'll have to do that in a minute. I have a Petunia Pop card base here that has something stuck to it. There we go. And I'm using the Everyday Details dies today. You can see I've used these a lot on cards for classes or cards for card kits, but I don't think I've demonstrated them on a live. So I thought I would show them today. It's a really fun set because they all poke holes in a lot of things as they cut it out. This makes a texture in a piece of paper, and this one I took just a regular 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece of basic white, and it cut out a rectangle, leaving the holes there for a cute border. And then the inside piece also had the holes on it, but I must have lost that or used it someplace because I can't find it. That's part of why I was late. So that's what I did with my basic white. And then I have a piece of the Bright and Beautiful, Bold and Beautiful birthday paper, and I'm going to put this under here with the lemon lime side of it. So I'm going to put some glue around this, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I cut that big enough so that I have a border that goes around. I don't want glue to sneak out through those holes, so I'm going to be careful about that. But I do want to be behind the holes. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll add a little more adhesive and put this on the front of the card base. I was going to maybe play with colors of the card base, and then I decided, no, I like the Petunia Pop with the lemon lime twist. Okay, so from this Country Flowers stamp set, I have stamped the stool. I die cut this little pot here out of Petunia Pop, and I've stamped these flowers, and there are dies for the flowers, there's dies for the stool, there's also dies for these leaves and the teapot and for these flowers. So there's quite a few shapes dies. There's also dies for the pot, this pot. So yeah, there's quite a few different ways you can cut things out. So I thought I would start by coloring in my stool, And I'm going to use some pecan pie. I'm going to start with the light pecan pie and pretty much color the whole thing in the light. And this is a pretty big open space, so I'm going to use my brush tip. I've stamped this in Memento because I do want to do some blending. If you're just going to do a quick fill in with your blends, you can get away with using the regular Stampin' Up! Inks, but if you really want to blend colors, the Memento does much better. It won't bleed. And now I'm going to add some dark to this. So I'm going to come in from the edges with some dark. And down the legs a little bit. I don't usually use my brush tip, but these spaces are pretty big. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for joining. And now I'm going to kind of pull on those lines a little bit. Pull the color right down because I want to soften that shading. Oh, I just went out of the lines. Big time. Let's see if the color lifter can do anything there. We may have to use our sentiment to try to. So I'm kind of going just below where I came out with the color lifter. I think that might work. I think that might take care of that. All right, the lesson is I need to go a little bit slower. Now I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green, which is just a little bit darker than the Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to start with my light, and I'm going to do these little leaves. I'm using the bullet tip. So the bullet tip has the skinny line, and the brush tip has the fatter line. Hey, Courtney! I hope we're going to see you at the Zoom class tomorrow night. That would be awesome. Thanks for jumping on now. So I'm going to do just these little leaves. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to have to go a little more carefully. I don't want to go out of the lines again. And I'm going to do, I actually think I'll come in and do the tips with the lighter. And then add some darker. Oh, there's one more leaf hiding right there. Oh, and another one over here. Okay, let's do a little of the dark. And we'll have to blend that, as you can see it's coming out really sharp there. And I don't like those sharp edges. It's really hot here today. I don't know what it was like in your neck of the woods. I'm in the lower level of my home, and all the air conditioning falls down here. So you can see I'm wearing a sweatshirt. Hi, Bobby. Oh, good, Courtney. You're going to make it. I love Petunia Pop, too. I am really enjoying that color. All right, so we're going to pull that dark color out a little with the light and try to soften that line. And I've heard people say the wetter you get your blend, so the more layers on that color there, the more it will blend, and that sometimes it takes a minute for that activation to take place. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to do some Petunia Pop on these. I call these roses. I really don't know if these are roses. Is that Petunia Pop? Yes. Oh, but I did want to start with the light. I have these handy dandy labels to put on my blends, but I haven't done it yet. My teammate Betsy printed them out for me. So all I need to do is peel them off and put them on. But when I go to do that, I start coloring instead. The organizational tasks are definitely not my first choice of how to spend my time. Anybody else like that? You have suffocating air you can wear. Oh boy, Courtney, that must be very hot. Hi, Jan. Okay, and then these flowers are little. I'm just going to add a pop of Petunia Pop just in the center there. Just where all those lines meet. And we'll quickly color the flowers with some Lemon Lolly. I wanted a summery looking bouquet of flowers. As I said when I started this, it is going to be a sympathy card, and some people might feel it's too bright for a sympathy card, and that's okay. If you feel that way, I want you to tell me. But I feel like flowers are okay on a sympathy card. It's okay to go bright, in my book. You let me know what you think. I'm just putting a little dark in there. The centers of those flowers should probably be a different color. Maybe I'll just put a little Petunia Pop in the center there. I don't know if that's a real flower color or not. Okay, so now I'm going to try to line these up. And because I didn't remember to cut these out ahead of time, I'm going to step away for a second and cut these out, but I will be right back. Okay, luckily I could cut two of those out at once, and my earbuds were upstairs, so I couldn't put those in. Oh, and here comes the cat. Yeah. So now we have a little decision to make. I would like to have a little bit of texture on this, or a little something. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. It just looks a little plain to me. There is this little stamp, and I'm going to grab some Petunia Pop ink. And we're going to stamp a couple of these on here, just to give it a little, maybe even just one. to give it a little something. Is one enough, or should I do more? All right, and then I have a decision to make. So I was first going to put this stool off to the side a little bit. I'll pop up the flowers. And I was thinking about putting the sentiment right up there. And the sentiment is going to say, with heartfelt sympathy, but it's kind of squished. It doesn't really fit. I'd have to go lower than I want. Let's see. Yeah, it's tight. So then I thought I could put it, up here on that, or here. Oh boy, I don't know if it's going to fit on this. I need to poke out one of these little holes. Well, I guess we should start with seeing if it's going to fit on this circle. I thought it was going to fit, but I am not so sure. All right, I have to pull this down a little bit to see what I'm doing, and I really don't want the letters to hit the hole because then you won't be able to read them. That is not going to be good like that. That's hard to read. Some of the letters are cut off. Here is a, I don't know what this circle is from. Here's a circle I had lying on my table. Let's see how this one works. That works better. With heartfelt sympathy. Or I could cut out a petunia pop circle. What do you think? Of course, I don't know what I cut that circle with. I'm going to cut a petunia pop one quickly. This is a Stylish Shapes circle. So what do you think? The petunia pop, it's a little bigger. A layered circle, or just the white circle. I'm going to give you a minute to tell me what you think. And I'm going to move this around a little bit and see if I like it better at the bottom. I like the smaller circle a little bit better, but maybe it's a 2-inch circle punch. Let's see. Of course, I don't have another piece over here. Let's see if I can do it out of the stitched. Do you know the sticky note trick? I'm going to put a sticky note on this, and that's going to be my handle to get it right in there. And I can pop that stitched edging off. And we could have it like that. What do you think? Or the white. Radio silence. So I'm going to go back to putting this off to the side. just a little bit. Let me close this ink pad before I put my hand in it. And we'll glue this down. You can see how the blends really bleed through your cardstock. And if you don't like the way your blends are coloring on your cardstock, I have found through working with other people and that use a different kind of white, the Stampin' Up! White really does work best for your blends and for having them not bleed and not run. Thank you, Courtney. White top right, she says. I'm going to get a little one, pardon my arm, to put right over there because I want a little bit of these flowers to overlap my little pot there. And that leaves a little bit more room for that. I feel like there we go. Had a little something on there. I don't know. Courtney says go white. Hi, Courtney, I might have to go Petunia Pop. Let me see. Hopefully she'll still talk to me if I don't take her advice. Let's see how this one looks. And we need a little something on there. What am I going to put on that? Maybe a little texture? Maybe that's just not the right shape, guys. What do you think? I think it needs a different shape. But this is Modern Oval Punch. I believe it's going to be even bigger. Sponge a little Petunia Pop on the edge. I'm not a big spongy girl, Courtney. I am not. How about a different shape? Maybe with that right there, I have an idea. Here's my Granny Apple Green ink pad. And what if I just do a couple of leaves at the bottom there? Let's get this going the right way. Stamped off. Maybe even stamped off 3 times. Maybe really, really light. 1, 2, here goes nothing. Can you see those? I'm going to go for the really light one. And just a little flower right there. I don't know. Can you see that? What do you think of that one? So we have that or that, but that just looks a little too plain to me. I'm going to do the same thing to that. I might not like it, but I'm going to try. This one I'm doing the whole thing. I don't like that. Okay.
There we go. With heartfelt sympathy. And I think I'll pop it up. But I think I did not cut a piece of basic white for my inside. Oh, my cat is coming to say hello to everybody. That is Fat Boy. It's almost time for him to eat his dinner, so he starts to get a little vocal while he waits. Now my trimmer, here it is. Okay, so we'll cut a piece, 5 1/4 by 4. Oh, good, Courtney. I'm glad you like the oval. That's the modern label punch. And then on the inside, I'm just going to do a few of these little, I don't know what these are, but they match an embossing folder. Just going to do a couple of those over there and a couple over here. And we'll put that on the inside. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Pam and Bobby. Oh, thank you for saying hello to Fat Boy. He is not so fat anymore. His diet is working, but he still likes to meow for his food. Okay. So there is our card. I need a little bling, don't you think? These are the In Color Sparkle Dots, which are still on back order, unfortunately. No, these are not. These are the In Color Sparkle Dots. These are the fine sparkle backed gems, but those are not the right color. And neither are these. These are Pretty in Pink. So let's try coloring them with our dark petunia top, which is kind of missing. Wow, Bobby, good for you, losing 9 pounds. You know that feeling of hunger and waiting for your food, huh? So here's the joy of blends. They color, and you can still see the sparkle. All right, so where should we put these? We're going to put one right there. I kind of like to put them a little lower than like where the popped up pieces are, so they won't poke through the envelope. But that's my theory. I never send them to myself, so I don't really know how that works. Where am I going to put this one? Oh, I don't know. Maybe just right there. Fill in that space. So here is a sympathy card with heartfelt sympathy and just enough room on the inside to write some messages to the family, some words of comfort. There is a stamp, I'm trying to find it in here. It says something about, so lucky to know you. And I was thinking it's not quite in the right tense, but it would have been nice to have something like that. Say, it was so lucky to have known you or to have known your loved one, something like that. But that's not going to work. So there's our card. Petunia Pop, some lemon lime twist, and some lemon lolly. So I hope that you enjoyed that tonight. These are the everyday details. Oops, I got some adhesive on there. And that those dots just give a really nice border on the inside. I like that. And I hope you will make a card, send a card, share a card, all that good stuff. Our cards need to get out there and make other people happy. Have a great rest of your Monday night, and I'll be back on Thursday night, I think, to go live again with a card. Take care. Bye-bye.